Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is pH, buffer and isotonic solution. In that part, today we have to discuss about the topic that is pH. So first of all, we have to see the introduction regarding the pH. So we can say that pH is one of the most important important physicochemical profile or parameters that we have to consider in the pharmaceutical fields for the drug and as well as dosage form. So the pH that may be affect numerous number of various factors regarding the drug molecules and the physiology of the humans that directly or indirectly being affect that resulting into that therapeutic actions or therapeutic value of the drug. So that's why we have to take the important parameters. So that's why we have to require the knowledge regarding that pH, buffer, that solutions, isotonic solutions like that. So it is difficult to design the formula or formulations which can provide that we have to select the right drug in the right dose, and we have to also maintain the stability throughout its shelf life, throughout the prolonged period of time. So that's why we have to require the knowledge. We can say that the pH, generally say that the pH of the body fluids that ranges around between 1 to 8. We have to know about the anatomy and physiology parts in GI tract. If we go for the oral drug release like tablet capsule, we have to go for in GI tract. So we have to know about the pH of that GI tract. So in that part, stomach, that we have to take that it is a mostly acidic region of the body parts, that pH ranges from around 1 to between 1 to 3, 1 and 3 like that. So normal pH of that intestinal fluids like small intestine to large intestine around 6 to 7, 7.5 like that. So that is the pH varies from 1 to 8 throughout the GI tract. pH of the blood is 7.4. So if we can say that there is a significant variations in these pH ranges, if modifications are there, changes are there, so serious metabolic consequence maybe occurs, and that pH changes with the pathological conditions. So maybe significant variations we can find out. So the drug as well as we can say the dosage forms that can be expected the encounter the physiological environment, that pH variation, pH factors that between the 1 to 8. So they will stable as well as not change their physicochemical profile or therapeutic actions due to variations between that pH 1 to 8. So all the formulations that we have to prepare, that must be, we have to design such like that or behave, they act in with a way to provide our required therapeutic actions, therapeutic response in that relevant physiological pH range around 1 to 8. So it is important to control the pH of the product and to maintain the drug degradations, so that we have to improve the drug delivery, improve the comfortness, patient compliance response like that. So that the pH we can say that they directly affect the drug solubility, stability, their adequate shelf life, and most important that is the ionization of the drugs that behaves over that wide range of the pH. So pH dependent are there, so ionization process are there. So that's why that we have to find out or study the pH, because day to day we have to use the term, the pH of that solution is like that, like that. So pH, we can say that it is a term that we have to see the history. So it is terms, the first was introduced or used in 1909. So by the scientist that is Soren Peter Lorentz Sorensen. So in that the pH terminology, the pH words that we have to see the P. So the P that stated or denoted that potence, that means the power, and the H that stands or represents the hydrogen. So that's why the H that we have to return in that it is in capital letter. So that we have to see that it represents the hydrogen ion potential. Definition part we have to see in Sorenso that define the pH of the solution. So it is say that it is a negative logarithm of the hydrogen ion concentration. So it is a negative logarithm, common logarithm of the reciprocal of the hydrogen ion concentration. So here that pH is equal to log 1 upon H plus, otherwise pH is equal to minus, so negative logarithm minus log the H plus, the hydrogen ion concentration. So the pH, that is the, we can say it is a unit to measure the degree of the acidity or basicity of the solution at a specific temperature. So it is measurement of the hydrogen ion concentration. pH is, you find out, you need the measure of degree of acidity or basicity on the basis of measurement of the hydrogen ion concentration. So the pH value that we have to determine that represent the type of solution, whether it is in acidic, basic or neutral type in nature. So acidic solution, that we have to see that range they are given. So acidic solution have a higher relative number of hydrogen ion as compared to in the alkaline or basic solutions have a higher relative number of OH, hydroxide ion. So that is the difference in acidic and alkaline. So the pH, that values, generally pH values we already know that ranges from 0 to 14. So in that the pH 0, it indicates that the solution is stronger acid in nature, and pH 14, that indicates, represent that the solution is strongly basic or alkaline in nature. So solution having pH values below 7, or it means 0 to 7, so it exhibits the acidic nature or acidic profile properties, and the solutions having pH more than 7 and in between 7 to 14, so that exhibits the basic nature or basic profile alkaline nature. And if pH is 7, so it is the center of that measurement from 0 to 14 scale, so it is neither acidic or nor basic nature, so therefore that is neutral. So pH 7, that represent the neutral. So here the pH, we can say it is equal to minus log H plus. So H plus is our the hydrogen ion concentration that we have to find out in mole per liter. It is expressed molarity, mole per liter, and the ratio of H plus and OH minus, that is express our pH values. So where the H plus is greater than the OH minus, so then the solution is acidic or acids in nature. If OH minus, the hydroxide ion concentration, is greater than hydrogen ion H plus, so then the solution is base, alkaline in nature. And when we can say that H plus and OH minus ions are equal in the solution, so it is a neutral, so pH 7. So pH, we can say that simply that is a logarithm function. So change, we can say change of 1 pH unit that represent the tenfold change in the concentration of hydrogen ion. So here that same things that we have to see that, so it represents that pH around 9 is there. So the hydrogen ion that represent 10 raised to minus 9. So remaining out of 14, that 9 hydrogen ion concentration has the remaining 5, that is OH minus. So that is the things are the mole per liter. So that if pH is 5, so 10 raised to 5 minus 5, that is hydrogen ion, and 10 raised to 9, that is OH minus ion. So that is the ratio concentration. Behaviors are the pH 7 is neutral, below 7, 0 to 7 acidic in nature, above 7, 7 to 14 alkaline in nature. So that is the pH scale, start from 0 to 14. 0, that is means strongly acidic, 14 means strongly alkaline, and the center point, that is pH 7. So because of that H3O plus, the equal of H plus OH minus and 10 raised to minus 7, that represent the pH 7 that is neutral. So the concentration of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion are constants in a stable solution. So the values of the either ion can be calculated or quantified if the value of other is known. It means suppose 10 raised to 9 that we have to find out the hydrogen ion concentration. So OH minus, that is 10 raised to minus 5. Next, the application of pH that we can say in the pharma field. So that the solubility of an ionized therapeutic agent is a function of that both pKa of the compound or drug and the pH of that formulation. So that we can say important is that accept the pH range of solutions for oral administrations, that is range from 5 to 8. So the selection of the pH value is very much important because that ionization of that therapeutic agent or drug, they directly dependent on that pH, so that go for ionization. If ionizations are there, so that alter the solubility part as well as the absorption viability part also. So pH, we can say that it maintained by adding the buffer to the drug solutions. Applications of pH of buffer remains same like that. So enhancing the solubility portion. So pH is very important. So pH based solubilities are there for the therapeutic agent or drug. So the pH, it is very important to maintain the solubility of the drug in the formulation, or it may be enhanced or change. So if pH not maintained, the drug may precipitate, that type of things that happen. So optimum pH be adjusted for maximum solubility. Acidic drug more soluble in alkaline pH, so due to the formation of salt, and basic drug more soluble in acidic solution. Increase the cell stability part. So pH also plays a role similar like that, most important play the role in solubility. Similar like it also plays a vital role, important role in enhancing the stability of product, because stability also pH dependence are there. So to in which the chemical stability of the drugs is pH dependent, mostly the chemical part, chemical stability are there. So that control the that pH of a solution to minimize the drug degradation, so that we have to improve the stability portions are there, so that the compound may get hydrolyzed in aqueous solution, improving the purity portion. So insulin precipitate from aqueous solutions between pH. It's a method for use for purification part also. Then optimizing the biological activities. So enzymes have maximum activities at particular definite pH, so that also used for the optimizing. Comforting the body, some solutions that we have to apply to the skin that cause irritation, that does not match the pH of that skin around 5 to 5.5 like this, so greatly different from normal pH, like that ophthalmic lacrimal fluid secretion. So we have to maintain the isotonicity. Storage of the product. So in their storage, so glass that used for the storage of pharmaceutical products. So some glass container that impart alkalinity to the product. So pH going for alter. So special type of glass that you do use for the manufacturing or packaging part. So buffering solutions that we have to add that maintain the pH for the eye. So isotonic solution that we have to require. Soft tissue nasal cavity, like that special in the special administered prepared part for specific dosage. From that time we have to maintain that particular pH by the buffers or buffer isotonic solution. Next, that is use that is pH indicator. So the solutions which when added to the test solutions that produce the color change, so which help to determine the pH of that test solution. So that may be a weak acid or weak base. So the examples are given: methyl red that show the red color at pH about 4 and yellow color at about pH 6. So pH varies of the color of the solution that change due to their changes in the degree of ionization. So color of any indicator that depend on the ratio of ionized and unionized form that presence on the pH of the solution. So here some examples they are given: indicators, phenolphthalein that we widely use, methyl orange, methyl red, so that a lower pH, or the color they are given higher pH. So maximum sensitivity of that indicators that occur, that we have to say that pH is equal to the pK. So that concentration of unionized and ionized drug form are equal. That pH, that maximum sensitivity of that colorimeters are there. So that universal indicator that is used, it is defined as a mixture of several indicators which gives different color sets at the pH of the solution, so varies in particular pH range. So that is the universal pH indicator. Universal indicators are there. Next, the method or measurement of pH, or the methods that used for to determine or the pH values. So pH values is measured by the following method. In that, the colorimetric methods are there, electrometrics are there, and simply that we have to use, that is pH paper. Okay, so in that pH paper, we can say that we can use routine work to find out the pH of the solutions, that is determined by the using of the pH paper. So that methods that determine is very less accurate, less convenient, and less expensive, and it is used to determine the pH of the colorless and non-turbine aqueous solution. So generally used for transparent aqueous solution, that time we have to use the pH paper. So in that, we have to dip the pH paper on the sample. The color of that paper changes with the pH, and that color that obtained, the change in the color that is obtained, is we have to compare with, form a standard table that respective the pH value is we have to record it, and this pH value we can conclude that the sample is acidic or basic or alkaline natures are there. Okay, like that the colors are there. So if acidics are there, so like that color, neutrals are there, the green, and the alkaline natures are there, so like that colors that we have to obtain when we have to dip the paper into our test sample. The colorimetric method, so it is less accurate compared to electrometric methods, less sensitive, accurate, convenient. But in that, the basic principle that we have to see that behind this method, that state lies is developing the color in the sample with an additions, with add the indicator that the dye, and we have to comparing the color of that solutions of unknown concentrations with the intensity or the pH, or with the intensity of the solutions of known concentration or pH. So the concentration of unknown solution can be determined. So compare of color test solution with the standard solution of the definite pH. So in the colorimetric methods, to measure the color in colorimetric methods, so chemicals that we have to add to the sample, these chemicals that produce a color change, and that color indicate the pH of that sample. So color can be measured visually or by electronically. We have to find out that pH by colorimetric method. Here the methods they are given that involve in colorimetric method. Their advantages, disadvantages are less expensive, so pH can be determined. Use acid-base reaction, non-aqueous solution, less accurate, less convenient as compared to the electrometric methods, particularly used when solutions are not color, not turbid, similar like pH. So indicators that we have to use acid, that addition of unbuffered solution that changes the pH of the solution, so not used for NaCl solution like that. So like that, the advantage, disadvantage of that colorimetric method. The second, that electrometric method, or we can call it a pH meter. So it is one of the most, we can say, widely accepted or widely used day to day for method for the pH determinations, specifically for the laboratory work, for the research area. So this method is highly accurate, most widely used, and it measures the accuracy to up to 0.1 to 0.001 up to pH like that. So the basic principle of that electrometric, the pH meter or pH measurement, so that is determine the activity of hydrogen ion by potentiometric measurement. So potential difference. So potentiometric measurement using the standard hydrogen electrode, that is standard electrode, and second one, that is the reference electrode. So two electrode, or by the using of one electrode also use, and two electrodes that we have to use for the electrometric method. So in that, so the standard electrode or reference electrodes are there. So it is made up of Calmol electrodes that can be used for the reference or standard electrodes. So in that, having a glass envelope that containing the glass tube that having a Calmol, means the mercury or mercuric chloride paste are there, along with the platinum wire that is submerged. This tube that we have to surrounded by the saturated KCl solution that diffuse slowly into the process liquid through the liquid junction that provide the asbestos fiber. So because of this, the reference electrode develops the constant potential. So that's why the standard electrodes are there. And the measuring electrodes, so single that we have to use, so we have to use the measuring electrode only. So it consists of, in the measuring electrodes are there. So it consists of, or we can say this our reference or as compared to standard. So it consists of the glass envelope having a pH sensitive glass membrane at the bottom surface in the bubble part. So pH sensitive glass membrane that it is enveloped into that part, so which contain the constant pH buffer solution. So glass electrode is made up of thin glass membrane. The overall glass electrode made up of glass membrane of special compositions are there, so that this electrode that we have to dip into the measuring solution or our test solution that we have to dip in that electrode, so the potential is developed at the platinum electrode, platinum wire that is in the bottom part, so which is proportional to the pH of that measuring solution. So this potential is measured that against the standard electrode. The standard Calmol electrodes are there. So the pH meter is composed of probe, which is formed by two electrodes. So this probe passes electrical signals to a meter, so that digitally pH meters are there. So the meter that displays the reading of that pH unit. So the measuring and reference electrode together form a electrolytic cell that we have to see in that figure diagram. So the voltage difference that occur due to its difference in the electron mobility that produced by that two electrodes, so then the net voltage is recorded and that calibrated as a function of that pH of that solution or the measuring liquids. So pH meter that essentially measure the electrochemical potential between a known liquid that is inside the glass electrode in the membrane and the unknown liquid that is the outside. So that is the difference. Since the operations of that electrode that depends on the electrical resistivity of that glass, the change in the temperature also can change the getting the error. So we have to maintain specific temperature, so the error we cannot find out in the pH reading. Otherwise, that with the change in the pH, so that occurs error in the pH reading. So the component of the change for the change in the temperature of the measuring solution. So temperature compensation resistance thermocompensator is included in the circuit, so that is immersed in the solution. So here that is the, so it is pH determined by the means of electrode whose potential depends on the hydrogen ion activity. The glass electrode that we have to use, the principle already we have to say that this is a potential difference that exhibits at the interface between the glass and the solution containing hydrogen ion. So it determines the hydrogen ion activity potential base. Inside the solutions are there, and the outside the glass, that solution, our measuring solution or our sample solutions are there. That process is a difference that exhibits at the interface that we have to measure it. So magnitude of this difference, that varies the concentration of hydrogen ion. So glass electrode here, that is pH sensitive glass membrane, with that we have to see in the figure, and the platinum wire is there. So glass electrode consists of thin glass bulb of special glass brown at the end of the glass tube. That bulb filled with the dilute acid like HCl, and the silver chloride electrodes that most widely used, electronically coated with silver chloride, makes necessary electrical connection with the acid. So here the simple procedures are there. The glass membrane electrode that connected to the pH meter, we have to adjust that to 0 if necessary. Temperature set of that solution, so that we have to maintain or set the temperature. Electrode that immerse in the standard buffer solutions of that pH. So 7 knob, say alter until the meter reads non-pH values of that solution. That's 7 for the aqua solution. We have to go for the calibration with the standard pH solution, buffer solution like pH 4, 7 and 9. Electrode rinse with the water. Then the bulk of electrode that we have to go for the find out the test solution, our measuring solution. That electrode we have to immerse it, dip it, and then pH values that we have to read into that meter, digital meter. So directly we can find out the pH. So that's why that is more precise method than the correct method. That is advantage that we have to see. The reading are not fluctuated. We have to find out exact accurate reading, so result can be easily read. So pH range of measurement is large, specificities are higher. Disadvantages, so not suitable for viscous solution, gel, poor ionic mobilities are there. Initial cost of pH as compared to colorimetric is higher, so then chances of damaging the electrode made up of glass. That's why total expense, equipment, expensive procedures are there. So like that, the disadvantages and advantages of that method are there. So that we have to see the pH, then the buffer and the isotonic solution, that we have to see in the next part. Thank you.